Have you ever felt disappointed after getting what you want? In a world so obsessed with winners and losers, why doesn't winning feel good? I think that the best way to illustrate this point is to talk about Denji from Chainsaw Man. Denji embodies the desires of young men, having somebody who cares about you and loves you for who you are, someone who comforts you after a long, hard day at work, somebody that you'd click with the moment you see them. Do you think that the idea of such a person arriving out of nowhere to fix your life is a bit far fetched? See, Denji goes from begging for scraps of bread to living in luxury, but he never stops wanting more. When you're starved for attention and connection, the bare minimum seems like a luxury you aren't worthy of. Even if the deal you're presented with is unfair, a person like Denji would still choose it because that's the only deal on the table. However, even though he starts in such desperate circumstances, his wants and needs keep getting bigger and bigger. Initially, he just wants jam and bread, and then he wants a hug. He wants to touch someone. He wants a girlfriend, and then suddenly he wants a family. Why do his dreams get bigger and bigger once he gets what he wants? Why doesn't he stop? That's because each time Denji gets what he wants, he feels a particular type of emptiness in his heart. The kind of emptiness you feel when you open a box of cookies, but it's actually full of your grandmother's sewing kit. Or when you get your first gaming console after having ads shoved in your face about how great this new generation is and how it will revolutionize gaming forever. I remember when I first saw the trailer for Uncharted when the PlayStation 3 was coming out. Sony advertised the new PlayStation 3 as a revolutionary console that will forever change the world, but it only took me 2 weeks to get used to the fancy new graphics and the interface. Even today, there are people who play Nintendo and PlayStation 2 games. I remember when I first saw the trailer for Uncharted when the PlayStation 3 came out. Sony advertised the new PlayStation 3 as a revolutionary console that will forever change the world. But it only took me 2 weeks of playing to get used to the fancy new graphics. Even today, there are people who play old Nintendo games and games on the PlayStation 2 because they were created at a time when video games were more about the gameplay and less about how they looked. Because at the end of the day, you get used to how things look over time. Like Denji, we, just like Denji, we want, just like Denji, we have wants that keep increasing in their size and their depth. Just like Denji, we have wants that keep increasing in their size and their depth. The pursuit of endless hollow goals leading to disappointment is explained by a concept called the hedonic treadmill. You keep working towards something until you have it, only to find something new and shinier to chase after. But you never have the time to sit and appreciate what you have. All you need to do to succeed in life is study, get good grades, and go to a good university until you realize that once you're at this fancy university, well, all you have to do is study hard and get good grades because that's how you're going to get a decent job. But actually, once you get a good job, you need a better job because your partner wants you to work harder to have more for the family. And then you look at pictures of people on Instagram going to all these places, doing all these crazy things, and you're thinking that even though you have all of these things, it's not enough. How many times have you told yourself, I'm almost there, just one more thing, just a small push? Because this is the biggest lie that keeps us unhappy. The real prize isn't the destination. It is the friends that we made along the way. I know this sounds cliche, but the reality is that pursuing a goal just because of the goal is never going to make you happy. Just because something seems grand doesn't mean that it's going to make you happy. The way I see it, if you don't enjoy doing what gets you there, you're not going to enjoy it when you have it. If you don't enjoy spending time with someone, then there's no point in being in a relationship with them because you're not going to be happy then either. If you find yourself having such goals where you're told that you will be happy once you have it, you're being set up for disappointment. The problem with these situations is that you're promised light at the end of the tunnel, but in life there are no guarantees. You're expected to walk in complete darkness in hopes that there's going to be light at the end. You don't know about the potholes that you might fall into or the zombies that might show up. Or what if you land into Silent Hill? Fuck that. If you aren't happy today, Why do you think that you'll suddenly feel happy after finding if you aren't happy today? Why do you think you'll sudden aren't happy today? Why do you think you'll suddenly feel happy after having what you want? Happiness isn't an achievement. It is a state of mind. Happiness is felt in the moment, in knowing that you're heading towards your goals, but you have time to yourself where you can relax and have fun without feeling guilty. Happiness is the moments you share with the person that you like, or your friends, or your family. These moments aren't Instagrammable like a lot of us are taught to imagine. You're not going to be screaming and yelling with the people that you love and just going crazy all the time. Usually, the happiest moments you spend in life are probably sitting in your room with a friend while watching your favorite show. Maybe you just make a couple of remarks about the show and talk about how fun it is or how funny a certain character is. But there's no fluff to these experiences. They're felt. There's nothing quite like sharing food with somebody and fighting over it with them. When your friend steals your food or you steal theirs, or you try to trick them into giving you more. While the pursuit for big dreams is important from a financial standpoint, the real happiness is the moments you share with these people. The people in your life aren't a side mission that you can avoid. It is these people who make the suffering we go through every day worth it. And sometimes it makes it even easier. If you don't have friends or anyone to talk to, that's probably where you should start. Having riches and fancy things is great, but what's a big house without a family? If you can take just half an hour out of your day, just go and walk outside, go to a park, just sit there and watch people live their lives and just do stuff. Sometimes just watching life go by as you're just observing without participating is enough happiness to fill your heart. Just looking at children playing and joking around with each other, or the elderly just doing what they do, or some person just running like they're in Rocky. It's those moments that I know that none of what I've said here will make you happy overnight, but over time, things do get better. They get easier If any of what I've said to you has resonated, keep an eye on our channel because we have tons of videos like this coming up soon. Until next time.